As you come on to the live, be sure to click that thumbs up button. Like it. Even if you don't like me, like it. Because you know the algorithm hasn't been my friend. The algorithm, it hasn't been my friend. The algorithm hasn't been my friend. Where's the damn bowl bit? Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to go out for the weekend. Where's that bowl bit? I know I brought both of them bowls. We're not about to use both of these lights, honey, because I'm not about to be burning up in here. Trying not to be dusty. Attempting not to be dusty. Attempting. As we attempt at not being dusty this evening. Maybe if we throw a little bit more light on it, should be less dusty. Maybe if we throw just a wee bit more light on it, should be less dusty. Maybe some light will keep that girl from being so dusty. Hold on. Maybe some light. Make sure you click like as you come into the space. Because you know the algorithm doesn't like me. Give me a chance. Because y'all know I didn't want to do this live because I don't like being stuck in the quicksand on topics like this. But you know Flame don't mind. Because she old and set in her ways. And she already done got her little coin, honey. Got her little coin to be right where she at, honey. And baby, if they're giving you the coin to be right there, then why not, huh? If they're gonna give you a coin to stay there, oh, I like that. We don't even need to use both of the lights. Okay, so this is good. Let's push her back a little bit because you in my face. Get out my face. Get out my face. Okay. So, let's talk about my good TD. My good TD, Mr. Monroe. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay. So, my pronouns are they, them. This year I've decided that I want my pronouns to be they, them. I'm moving away from the she pronouns. Just because I don't feel like being engulfed in this conversation. But I'm going to have this conversation one more time. So I watched the interview with Flame Monroe and Tasha K. And I looked at the comment section, and I'm not mad at Flame for getting her coins. I'm not mad at Flame for finding their niche and following through with it. But this really speaks to why I struggle with identifying as a trans woman in particular. Because I don't know why Flame has to identify as a trans woman, because it makes trans woman seem like it's a fake woman. Like Flame is the Flame is the variable that really just makes saying I'm a trans woman seem like a pseudo term. Like this is a pseudo woman. Like this is a neo woman. Like this is a fake woman. You know, like when Flame says that they're a trans woman and then says I'll never be a woman and says that I'm a female impersonator, like owns all of these things, and then says that women taught her how to be a woman or taught Flame how to be a woman. Like some things are just innately inside of you, you know. True, I was not born with a vagina, but there were beings who were born with vaginas who are not feminine, who are not maternal, who are not nurturers. Like, there are plenty of beings who are born with vaginas and are in no way, shape, fashion in touch with anything that resembles femininity or womanhood. So, being born with a vagina doesn't mean you automatically gonna be tapped into your divine feminine energy. And to me, she it's like Flame diminishes trans men by saying you ain't no man, you ain't no man, you still a woman, and you'll never be a woman because you weren't born with a vagina. And it's like basing all of these things on genitalia. You could be born with a genitalia that does not align with how you see yourself or how you feel about yourself. And you could be channeling that divine feminine energy, that energy that does not have genitalia. It's an energy. It does not have a genitalia. It is the source of feminine energy. And this energy can move through any vessel. It does not move through a vessel determined on the genitalia. See, that's some patriarchal stuff. Y'all don't even realize in subscribing to the things that Flame says, y'all are subscribing to a patriarchal idea that in order to be a woman and in order to be in touch with your femininity naturally, or in order to be organically connected to your femininity, you have to have been born with a vagina. And who determines this? Men. Because what true mother, what what true divinely feminine being would say, if you got a penis, you can't be in touch with your femininity. You can't be in tune with your womanhood. You can't connect with your womanhood. Like, what mother would not have the capacity to understand that? Like, that within itself is some patriarchal bullshit. Y'all all sound like men. And so I don't know. I just struggle with how many people praise her for pandering like that, because there's no other way to describe it. You can't sugarcoat it. It's literally pandering. And she said it in her last interview. She said, um, when she was talking about Funky Dineva, she said that your audience is predominantly women and you can't alienate women because that's who your audience is. So you can't say things about them and alienate them because that's so that beckons the question for me is was she saying sincere? Or is this something that she's saying? Is she pandering to y'all because she needs y'all support because y'all are her predominant fan base? So when she said that about Funky Dineva, it made me question like, is this stuff you saying stuff you really believe? Or are you just being strategic? Like, do you know that if you tell the truth and you're honest about how you feel, you're going to lose numbers? And so this is a business for you, and so you're in the business of telling these bitches what they want to hear, pretty much. That's what it's giving. Like, is this like are you sincere, TD? Like, is this like because it was like a glimmer of hope when you said that. I was like, okay, maybe this is a scam for her. Maybe it's scamiana. Maybe it's a hustle. And see, that's one thing I'm never gonna be. I'm never gonna be. I don't care about I do care about numbers, but not so much so that I'm not gonna be authentic and I'm not gonna tell the truth. I'm not finna degrade myself and play a sidekick to a being just because they was born with a vagina when I know there are beings who are born with vaginas who throw their babies away. There are beings who born with vaginas who transition to be men. There are beings who are born with vaginas that want to be men, maneuver like men. There are beings who are born with vaginas who don't have a maternal bone in their body. There are beings who are born with vaginas who don't have a nurturing bone in their body. And the craziest part to me is that you having a child that was born with a penis that could tap into the divine feminine, you see it as something is being extracted from you or something is being taken from you because this is the game that the brotherhood and patriarchy have run on you. You see my feminine expression, you see my connection to my foremothers as somehow you're losing something when actually you're gaining something because this is another person willing to walk through the fire and another person willing to represent the parts of the struggle that they can represent. Speak to the part of. See, I love Flame to death, but Flame is not a real representative of womanhood. Flame is an impersonator because Flame jumps L, put on that damn man hat, and put on them damn man clothes and go by Marcus, when it's convenient. And then when it's time to get that check, put on them wigs and put on that makeup and then get in front of Flame. Don't live that struggle. Flame ain't walking down the street having motherfucking men harassing them all times of the day. You in the club, dudes grabbing on your butt, grabbing on your titties, talking to you crazy, disrespecting you, handling you, trying to rape you. Like, this is not the type of stuff that you're experiencing because when it's convenient for you, you become Marcus with titties. And so I get that narrative for you because you're Marcus when it's convenient. You're Marcus when you need to be. But a lot of us, it ain't no alter ego. It ain't no another person I turn into when I'm off the camera. This is who I am all the time. This I didn't like you when you was living 24/7 when you were younger, you were playing up in drags and it was glamorous to put these different wigs on and all that type of stuff. Let me tell you something. With with a boy chest and a bald head, I was still getting called ma'am. I was trying to look like a boy and was still getting ma'amed. So no, like my struggle is not the same as yours. And so when it's convenient for you, you get to jump L. When it's convenient for you, you don't have to be perceived that way. You know what I'm saying? Because Flame is not an ugly trans person. Flame is a beautiful older woman to me, a beautiful older feminine being to me. But let's be clear, you're not mistaking that for biological tuna. You're not looking at flame and thinking that's biological tuna. You not for 1 second thinking that's biological tuna. That's not flame struggle. That's not your struggle. I can remember when I had my orchiectomy, I used to like being clocky. I used to like for them to know my tea. I used to like for when I was talking to dudes, they already knew what time it was and I didn't have to tell them. But then when I had my orchiectomy and my body started getting real soft, now I look a little bit, I have my days. I could be androgynous because I take a little testosterone here and there. It's not just straight up hormones because I'm whole. But when I used to be pumping myself full of them hormones and I got rid of them nuts, it was pussy, 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 pussy. And I'd be, talking to dudes and they'd be like, how many children you got? You married? And I'm like, ugh. And it was happening all the time. And so I was experiencing a lot of the sexism. I was experiencing a lot of the objectification. I was experiencing a lot of the diminishing, the belittling. Oh, you need some help with that. Oh, you're not strong, and like I wasn't capable, like I was inferior, like I always needed to be helped, like I couldn't do anything on my own. And see, that's the whole part of me. I don't like to I don't like for people to make me feel helpless. I'm not one of those kinds of feminine beings that want to be taken care of and be kept. I never was interested in being that type of woman. Kept. Never was interested in being kept. So that's not my narrative. But yeah, that to me, um it's like this idea that those of us who embrace womanhood and connect with womanhood, it's like we're trying to take something. Like it's being viewed as we're trying to take something. Like we're trying, and it's because of beings who come in and infiltrate and pander and put out narratives like that. It's like, no, I'm not trying to take anything from you. I'm actually adding to you. I'm actually adding to the legacy that is our foremothers, the legacy that is the divine feminine. But it's like you're trying to take something from me because you keep trying to devalue my connection to my foremothers and my journey through womanhood because I wasn't born with a swinging dick, because I wasn't born with a vagina, because I was born with a cock. And so all of y'all out there who was born with big fat monkeys but channel nothing but dude energy and act like straight men, y'all get to claim womanhood solely, womanhood, something that was designed and named by men. Y'all fighting to claim a name created by men. And if you didn't act a certain way, they told you you wasn't ladylike. They told you that you wasn't woman enough. If you talked too much and you had too much of an opinion or too much of a voice, they might have called you a witch and burned you at the stake. On Color Purple, if you wasn't the woman that knew her place, you get the shit slapped out of you. You get beat, you get raped, you get passed around. That's what a woman was. Beat, raped, and passed around. But thankful there were trans beings who infiltrated and been infiltrating. Google Frances Thompson. Frances Thompson was a black trans being, a black trans woman who played a powerful role in the Reconstruction period. A lot of the rights and the rules that we have now was because a black trans woman who was caring for black females, who was housing them, and who took the bulk of the raping, who was raped by men right alongside the women. When the men broke in the house, them Irish soldiers, them Irish police officers, workers, when they came in, they didn't just rape the females, they raped Francis too. And Francis took the bulk of the raping and got on the stand and testified and changed his story for us. Baby, I know y'all saw Holiday Heart, honey, when she had to take and raise that arm, when Vin Rames had to take and raise that girl for the mama, because the mama was out there getting full because the machine had broke her. You know how many machines, you know how many in the machine, how many women who was born with wombs that been broken by the machine, and they've been out there in the streets getting full, and they've been out there in the streets getting high, running the streets because the machine had done burned them out and broke them and mistreated them so bad that they was out there getting full, and somebody like me had to step in and help with the children. Somebody that y'all want to throw to the men. Y'all want to throw to the patriarch, literally throw me to the wolves. Y'all want to literally hold on to something that's been toxic for y'all, something that's been breaking y'all, something that hasn't been working out well for y'all. When if you was truly trying to be in relationship with the divine mother and trying to have that relationship, you'd be trying to get rid of that damn name yourself, and you'd be trying to create a damn name where you could welcome in all of your divine sisters, all of your feminine sisters, instead of keeping this division so the patriarchy could keep breaking y'all. Because when the patriarchy break y'all, it be beings like us who step in and help you, the ones that couldn't carry no children, the ones who was like Sarah, the ones whose womb was closed up. In the Bible, they had barren women whose wombs were closed, and they helped others with their children. And instead of you seeing it from me, because unfortunately the combination of DNA gave me the feminine spirit, gave me the feminine mind, gave me the feminine thoughts, gave me the feminine manners, but it didn't give me the feminine reproductive organs. Everything was pussy except the pussy I had to lay on the table and risk my life for. Everything was puss. The only thing that I was missing was the motherfucking hole in between my legs. And a lot of y'all, that's the only thing y'all got, was the hole. Everything else is he hell, he hell. Try the spirit by the spirit, baby. And y'all let Uncle Flame get up here in front of y'all. Y'all get Father Uncle Flame get up here in front of y'all and tell y'all some stuff, cause he want to keep y'all in line. I gotta give it to Uncle Flame. Uncle Flame is a pimp. Uncle Flame like Cat Williams with titties. Uncle Flame get up there with them boots on and them silky straight wigs and be like a pimp, wear the pimp hats and everything. A pimp with titties. Smooth as silk. Telling y'all what y'all want to hear, and y'all fall right in line for it. Oh, I love Flame. Flame representing women. Flame taking up for women. Flame holding y'all hostage. Where you been? You can't grow and evolve to become leaders, to be able to take back your place, take back your rightful place. Be those beings that stop shaming these males for having a connection to your womanhood. See, this is how that logic flies in, where you have to submit to men to get them to protect you. If you stop alienating these males and making them feel inferior because they don't have a vagina, then there are your soldiers. There are your warriors. But some of y'all ain't meant to lead. Some of y'all need to be soldiers and warriors. Let's be clear. Some of y'all not meant to lead. Some of y'all are not meant to guide. Some of y'all need to get better at service. Because your womb doesn't automatically give you the right to lead. Because in order to lead, you have to first be able to see yourself in your people. You have to be able to see the connection. You have to be able to see the relationship. You have to stop alienating and stop trying to make yourself look like you're superior. Because if you're going to act like you're superior, what are we changing? That's the problem with the patriarchy. Niggas thinking they better because they got a dick. That's the problem with the patriarchy. So you gonna do patriarchy with a pussy? Miss me with the bullshit. Bitch, I ain't got no genitalia. Bitch, I ain't got a dick or a pussy. Bitch, I got my own thing, bitch. I got a hole. And it come. And I ain't bringing no slaves here. Bitch, I got a hole. Bitch, I ain't got a pussy or a dick. Bitch, I don't want none of what neither one of you got, bitch. It look more like a pussy, but it ain't quite a pussy. And it damn sure ain't a dick no more. Bitch, I made my own, bitch. Bitch, I made me a sex organ. A G spot. Shit. So, like, for me, y'all getting pimped by a pimp with titties, because that's what Flame is. I don't have nothing against Flame. Now, I'm be honest with you, I don't think Flame is funny. And the reason why I don't think Flame is funny is because Flame's jokes are a lot of times are demeaning to people who blur gender lines, people who don't fit into the binary. But if Flame is comfortable with, talking about themselves that way, I cannot judge that person for that. I think that Flame is an inspiration. I will not take that from Flame. The motivation to get out there and handle your business and to make a way for your family, you know what I'm saying, to work, to still have, the level of get up and go and the fashion sense and to be bold about speaking your truth, to be honest about how you feel, to be fearless in your opinion. There's a lot of admirable things that I can respect about Flame, but I don't think that that brand of humor is funny for me because it's degrading to trans people. And I really honestly wish Flame would not identify as a trans woman. I really wish Flame would just be like, I am a person who likes to wear women's clothes. I am a man who is extremely feminine, because you still resonate with your manhood. You look at womanhood as a costume. You don't see yourself as both. You don't really see it like you literally express it as, you know, he collect the check, she get the check. Like, it's like you pimping her. Like, when you listen to how you describe, how you use the feminine aspect of your being, it's like you're pimping that part of yourself. And so if you could pimp your own woman, why the fuck wouldn't you pimp every other woman? And the women who follow you so smart, they dumb. Then Tasha K talking about biology this and biology that. Biology is not something that could be figured out just from who got a dick and who got a pussy. There are so many things that goes into biology. We don't know exactly what nobody chromosome is. You could be born with a dick and have a different chromosomal structure. You could be born with a pussy and have a different chromosomal structure. You could be born with both of them. You could be born with a little bitty dick and you can have all type of tissues and brain function. People are more complex than y'all want to give us credit for being. When you look at these biracial babies, some of them come out with the straight blonde hair and the brown eyes and be pale because DNA is complex. Sometimes you could look at a person who was born black and some parts of their hair be real kinky and other parts of their hair be straight. Have Chinese eyes and be dark skinned. DNA is complicated. We only use 10% of our brain. This year I am not gonna keep talking about this type of stuff because I'm not gonna lie, I follow Dan Calloway and Dan Calloway, teaches about, the black indigenous people. And I be aggravated because he be talking about the same stuff over and 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 over again. And I love Dan Calloway. I do. I'm so thankful for it. But I get now why he have to repeat himself over and over and over again. Because every day a sucker is born. Somebody who don't know no better. So you have to keep repeating the same messages over and over again for this new generation that's coming. You be done said it to one generation, and it's like that generation to get the game. It's like when preachers go to school. Preachers, if you go to a real seminary school, and I know backwoods seminary school, like if you go to a real theology school, a real theology seminary school, they're going to teach you a lot of different religions. They're going to teach you a lot of different spiritualities. They're going to expand your mind, and you're going to learn about more than Jesus. And so when you come out of seminary school, your mind is open and you know all of it. But there are people who will go through all of their education and then go right back to talking about Jesus and teaching it just like they learned it when they was growing up in their backwoods ass church. They'll teach it just like they was when they was in that backwoods church. Period. That's how people do it. Teach it just like it was taught in that backwoods church. And that's how a lot of y'all is when it comes to learning about us being black and indigenous, learning about us being whole beings, learning about us being more than our genitalias. Y'all will be like, oh, child, that ain't my fight. I'm not finna be going through all that. Chill, I'm a woman. Plain and simple. I'm a trans woman. I'm a trans man. Then some of y'all won't even say trans. I'm a woman. Then some cis people, y'all will be, oh, child, I'm a woman of God. Or I'm a man of God. But you know that it's more to the story than that. But that's not your fight. So y'all leave us out here windmilling. Constantly got to teach people because y'all don't want to do it. So y'all pretend to be ignorant like y'all don't know no better. So then bitches like me, goddesses like me, gods like me, whole ones like me, gotta constantly keep repeating themselves. But you know what? I love y'all, but fuck that. I'm not about to be doing this all this year. I am not there anymore. The stone has rolled away. I'm not finna keep addressing Uncle Flame because at this point, this is a gimmick. This is a show. Y'all playing in our face. I can't believe that Flame has gotten to this age and you don't know no better. And I refuse to believe that you're raising your children like this. I refuse to believe that this is what you're teaching your children. And one time, Flame said that it's a difference when you have your own biological children than when you adopt children. When you look into their eyes and you can see yourself. No, it's not a difference. Because I know people who have adopted children, and the children still have pick up their behaviors. The children still copy off them. The children still is I know trans people who have adopted children, and you would swear to God the children even have started looking like them, act like them, look like them, everything, and those trans people will go to hell and back for that. And so anytime you honestly don't believe that you could have the type of connection that you have with a child unless you are directly and you know for a fact, because we all related, we all connected, we all come from the same space, come from the same space. That just speaks to your capacity to love anytime you need to biologically create direct offspring in order for you to feel super connected to them. That says more about you, because I know that I've never adopted and I've never biologically had children. But let me tell you something. I've been more a mother to the ones who have claimed me as their mother than some of y'all been to y'all biological children. I've done more, showed up more, sacrificed more for something that was not directly my blood than some of y'all have to beings that came from your direct DNA. Like literally, you fucked to make them. And I've been more of a parent to the beings that have called me mother than some of y'all have been to your biological direct offspring. More compassion, more empathy, more concern, more nurturing, more love. Taking the time to teach and to explain and to push them instead of coddling them. Expanding their awareness, their mind, exposing them to things that would help them to be well-rounded individuals. Yeah, bitch, I ain't got a motherfucking fuck to be no parent. Cause don't none of them belong to you anyway. We all come from the source, and when they get grown, they gonna do what they want to do anyway. And half of y'all, your children grow up and they put you in the motherfucking old folk home. They don't even be there for you when you get old. But you want to brag that you biologically created some children. Child boom. That don't mean nothing. Telling you, you ain't gotta biologically be no parent to be no parent. And you ain't gotta biologically be born with no pussy to be more like your mama than this chick over here born with a pussy. You ain't gotta be biologically born with a dick to be more like this dude over here that was born with a dick. You ain't gotta spirit. It's your spirit, it's your heart. It's what's in your heart, it's what's in your spirit. It's what's in your soul, it's what's in your DNA. And I'm gonna leave you with that. Martin Luther King said, not by the color of their skin, but by the context of their character. And I'm gonna take that a step further. And I'm gonna say, judge me not by my birth genitalia, but by how I show up, what I uplift, what I support, what I stand by, and what I represent. 10 toes down how I move, how I navigate, how I be who I be. A lot of y'all need to stop looking with these eyes and start looking with this one. Because, baby, I'm every bit of my mama, Julie Marie Jackson. And, bitch, I ain't have to practice it. I just am. And, baby, if you see my cousin Kia with her child, baby, my little cousin Barbie, she ain't have to practice nothing. She act just like her mom. And it wasn't no practice, baby. It wasn't no mimicking. It just was. Period. Anyway, let me light a candle and get up out of here. Down by the noun that I say cool, it keeps spinning and turning in Gani Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God Goddess. And if I am, you know you are. I was going to speak a little bit more on the Cat Williams thing. I don't think I feel like it right now. But I saw he did another interview. And that one was actually, he didn't mention Trick Daddy though, did he? Child, I'm gonna keep that to myself. But yeah, but I liked that interview. That interview was nice. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I want to give. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of tea before I get up out of here. So I did end up being intimate after the new year. The first situation was cool, and I guess I called myself like I was really trying to distract myself, especially around the time that was the day that I announced my husband's passing. Because you know, I announced it on January the 9th last year. So that was a somber day for me, and I tried to distract myself, and I met this dude. And child, when I tell you, the first dude that I was with, um, it was different. Like everything went perfect. Like he treated me nice. He was respectful. Gave a girl a coin. We ain't have to indulge in no anal. You know, it was vaginal twice. You know, definitely protected sex. Both times. Both times, because it was twice, both times. So the second one, we had the results of anal, and it was so uncomfortable, and it hurted so bad. Like it was just, I'm happy that I have walls, but I honestly felt like a prison punk. It was a mess, literally. So I beat myself up about that, and I think that that was a humbling experience for me. So you know, I try to be transparent with y'all. You know, I try. You know, I'm not gonna sit up and talk about nobody else if I can't talk about myself. And so yeah, but I got back on track after that. You know, I had been smoking. You know, smoking my little herbs while I was up there. Um, and I gave. You know, I was eating meat. But I saved the bones because I'm gonna make jewelry with them. They're on my altar now, but I've been, you know, doing vegetarian for the past 3 days. Um, yeah, I've been doing vegetarian for the past 3 days. I haven't smoked weed for the past 3 days. So, you know, been just trying to get my temple back right, get my little clarity back together, you know, try to get back in my Zen space. But, you know, what I'm learning is to give myself grace because I did beat myself up. I call myself all kind of prison punks. You know, I put myself down, I beat myself up, you know, because I don't like anal sex, and whenever I resort to anal sex to try to accommodate a man, to be accommodating, Like I felt like I should have told that nigga. I was a little tipsy, but I felt like I should have told that nigga, you know what, that dick too big. Get the fuck out of here. Like no tea, no shade. Like no disrespect. Respectfully, that dick is too big. I already know I'm not gonna be able to get you off from vaginal sex. You gonna wanna have anal, and we're not about to do it. So respectfully, nigga, that dick too big. I'ma start investigating niggas. Like, niggas, you be wanna know my tea. You wanna know if I'm positive. You wanna know if I'm trans. You wanna ask me all these questions. I'm just gonna be like at the beginning of the conversation, how big that dick is, nigga? Because if that dick too big, we can't do nothing. Because bitch, I'm not gonna be letting you around here, bitch. Just 20, like the only reason why I'm not really, really, really frustrated about everything that happened is because, you know, for me, the new year doesn't really technically begin until like the first day of spring. That's when I really like, to me, like the new year hasn't really fully began. Like you still have this grace period at the beginning of the year to get things together. You know what I'm saying? The resurrection, honey. Come on now. The resurrection, around Easter. You know what I'm saying? Passover, resurrection, Easter. You know what I'm saying? That's when we resurrecting that new year. So, I'm giving myself a little grace. I'm not beating myself up too bad. I had a slip up. I was depressed. I was vulnerable. I did good when I first got there. I was focused for like the first 5 or 6 days I was there. And then I just got lonely. And then the next thing them cute ass Dominicans, a bitch went to playing, and the next thing you know, she got caught up. And it was the first time, like, I should have left it alone after the first time. But the second time, it was some prison punk tease. Like, I felt like a prison punk. It was just a bad scene. I literally was so busted up. You would have thought I had a cycle coming out my ass. Like, I'm glad I got my walls, but Pooh had me bleeding like I had a cycle from my ass. Like it was prison punk tease. It was like a prison rape. It was a mess. It was really a mess. And it was a humbling experience for me. He was young, he was cute, and I was tipsy, and I thought I don't know what made me think I could try to take that big ass dig. I don't know why I felt like I had to try to take that big ass dick. And I literally beat myself up the next day about it. I felt like I had snorted cocaine when I hadn't. Like I was so down. I felt like I had did a bump of cocaine. Like that was how bad I was beating myself up. But um, I cried about it. My daughter had came back from her trip, so she was there for me because at first I was there by myself, and um, she consoled me, and she tried to get me not to look at it in a negative way, and I was like, no, we're not gonna dress this up and try to make this look like it's something else. No, this was bad. This was sad. This was, I used condoms. Amen, a woman. Thank you, God Goddess. It was safe sex. But I still diminished myself the second time. Like the first time, it was fine, and I feel like I should have left it at that. But the second time, if I could take that back, I would have. But I'm glad that it went like that because sometimes you gotta go through a messed up situation in order to get you back into focus. So it did get me back into focus. You know, I felt bad enough to wanna like be like, okay, yeah. So I'm giving myself grace. I'm not beating myself up, but I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm not gonna sit on here and drag for everybody else and not talk about me. So that's the embarrassment that happened with me. But I gave myself grace. I'm giving myself grace. Amen, a woman, and give yourself grace too. If you see this video, Uncle Flame, give yourself some grace. But stop pimping these women though. Tasha K, if you see this video, give yourself some grace. But stop trying to act like we y'all sidekick. We are y'all. We just don't have the same opening. We just wasn't born with it, you know. We just built different. But we are y'all. And y'all are us. We all come from the same place. We were just designed to do different things. And Flame sit up there and told that bald faced lie, talking about women and men are different. Yes, men who go along with the socialization and the programming. Women who go along with the socialization and the programming. But as children, before we are indoctrinated and groomed and socialized, we're not that different. We're not. I remember things didn't start getting weird for me until all of us hit puberty. That's when one group started going this way and the other group started going that way. But while we were headed to puberty, the grooming was still going on. The socializing was still going on. The shaming and the condemning of certain behaviors based on your genitalia was going on. We were being herded into our prospective groups. So don't sit up here and say we are innately just completely different, Flame. That's a lie. That's some pimp shit. Anyway, down but the now that I say cool, it keeps spinning and turning. E and Gani, E Uncle Kalukalo, which means I'm a child of God Goddess. And if I am, you know you are. A man, a woman, lilim, lila. As above, so below, as within, so without. Thank you, God Goddess. Thank you, God Goddess. Good night, y'all. Later.